Alright, so I did it for the MCU, I did it for Marvel, I predicted the slate of the MCU for the next 5 years, and I said I would do the DCU. So here we are doing my predictions for Chapter 1 of the DCU. Let's get into it, starting with the year 2024. Now I have it labeled in red if it's an Elseworlds story, so if it's not in the main continuity of the DCU. And the blue is my predictions of the date that these shows or movies might release. And the white is a confirmed date that we actually have from Warner Brothers and the DC studios themselves. So in 2024, and by the way, I'm only doing stuff that's coming straight from DC Studios. So I'm not counting like Superman and Lois or My Adventures with Superman or Batman the Caped Crusader. Only the productions coming from DC Studios themselves. So the first thing that we're getting in 2024 is the Penguin. We don't have a release date other than the rumored drop date of sometime in the fall of 2024. So I'm thinking September 20th. This is an Elseworlds story, so I have it labeled like that. Then we have the sequel to Joker. That's confirmed coming out October 4th, and I have that labeled as Elseworlds as well, obviously. And then our first ever DCU project. It's supposed to come out in late 2024. That's what it says. I predict December 20th. Give some space from, away from Joker. Also, the Penguin's going to be releasing on Max soon as well. So I think it's literally going to be as late as possible in 2024. We'll get Creature Commandos, which is our first ever show and first ever anything in the DCU. Let's move into 2025, where I think Peacemaker Season 2 will have its debut. I'm going to go with March. I think that's a decent time to release it. Little springtime show on Max. There's no official release date. The blue is something that I've predicted. It's not confirmed. I think Peacemaker is going to drop just because we already know it's filming. Be pretty crazy if we could get a Superman cameo in it before his movie debuts the following few months coming up. But yeah, I think Peacemaker Season 2 is going to debut in 2025. This is not marked as Elseworlds because this is a part of the DCU continuity. Now, the first movie of the DCU is Superman. And I have in white written Superman because the only title card that we have is actually the date of the movie. So we know it's coming out July 11th, 2025 in theaters. And we know it's titled Superman, and it's filming currently. At the time of recording this, James Gunn said he's a little bit past halfway through filming the movie. So that one's easy. Put that one in there. And then in October, I think we're going to get Amanda Waller. I think we're going to get the Waller show coming out after the Superman movie. It looks like, so what I've seen from James Gunn, and I don't remember how long ago this was, he said that they're looking to release 2 movies and 2 shows a year. So I did 2 shows for 2025 because I think it's possible to get Waller up and filming soon and then be able to release it in late 2025. We already know that there's only going to be 1 movie in 2025 just because it would be impossible to film something now and then release it. So I'm going off of that basis, that statement from James Gunn and DC Studios. So the reason why I have Waller placed after these 2 projects, though, is because James Gunn stated that Waller would take place after the events of Peacemaker Season 2. I think there's going to be some sort of through line through these projects. I think James Gunn said Amanda Waller's going to be in Creature Commandos as well, so I think we're going to have like a little storyline going between Creature Commandos, Peacemaker Season 2, and the Waller show. So I think those are the first 3 shows that we're going to get. That's why I have that in that kind of timeline order there. And then obviously the Superman movie. Moving on to 2026, I didn't know what to do. So I think in March, and I'm keeping like the same months basically, same kind of release schedule each year for the DCU. I think we're going to get the Booster Gold show next. I think that's going to be the next show that we get. And the reason why is because there's so many rumors swirling around about this. It's even rumored now that Booster Gold might appear in Season 2 of Peacemaker. So, yeah, we've been getting a lot of rumors that it's starting filming soon, that they already cast Booster Gold. I mean, James Gunn has denied this, but I don't know. To get all these rumors on this project, I feel like that's the most likely scenario. I think that's going to be the next show that we get. So I think it's going to go from Waller to Booster Gold. I don't know if there's going to be like a storyline connection there. Maybe not. I don't know if this is going to be a TV show or if it's going to be a miniseries. We'll get into that a little bit later. And then again, it's in the blue because it's a prediction. And then I know we'll get Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, June 26th of 2026. I don't think we're going to get 2 DCU movies in 2026. I wouldn't be surprised though if we did, because maybe when he said 2 movies a year, that he didn't mean just strictly from DC Studios. Maybe he meant 2 DCU movies a year. But I went with the 2 movie release. So I have Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow releasing June 26th, confirmed. And then the Batman Part 2 is confirmed to drop October 2nd of 2026. So those are the 2 movies I have selected here. Although the Batman Part 2 is an Elseworlds tale, maybe they'll release another movie sometime, maybe in early 2026, which is probably unlikely, but maybe late 2026. I doubt it. I think those are going to be the 2 movies that we get though for 2026. Sorry for my voice. I am still sick. That's why I haven't posted in a while, but I wanted to get this video out for you guys. But yeah, then I think we're going to get Paradise Lost in late July. I had trouble kind of placing this one because, you know, it's going to be like this prequel story kind of Game of Thrones setup. So I think, you know, we're talking about whether Booster Gold would be a miniseries or an actual TV show. I feel like Paradise Lost will be a TV show based off of the way that's described, being compared to Game of Thrones. I think it's going to be this kind of long ongoing story that's going to have a few seasons. And I don't know, I put it in the late July slot. I was kind of in between that and Lanterns, but I'll tell you why I have Lanterns in this next slot. So 2027, I had a thought. I was thinking about, so we know we're going to get 2 shows a year. We know that we're going to get 2 movies a year. But what about shows that need a second season, right? Because these are described as television shows, if I'm not mistaken. But that could be, you know, end up just being like a mini series, right? Kind of like how the MCU does it. They do have kind of TV shows, but they also do have things that are just a straight up mini series, and that, you know, it's just 1 season long show. I was thinking maybe what they could do is, if they're releasing 2 shows a year, you do 1 show that's new and 1 show that's a continuation of the of like a previous season. So for example, Peacemaker would kick off 2027. It would be the 3rd season, but we'd also be getting season 1 of Lanterns in late July of that year. I put Lanterns in this slot, although I can see it 100% being in 2026, especially since we do have Guy Gardner and Superman. They might fast track the Lantern show. Even though he's not a main character, I'm sure he's going to be a part of the show. James Gunn said that a bunch of Lanterns would be in this show. But the remark that stuck out to me that James Gunn said in that original announcement video is that this show would contain a kind of like, I guess you could say a clue or be a part of the overarching story of the DCU. So I think they want to maybe have this closer to the Justice League movie, even though that's not a confirmed thing. Obviously, I think we'll be getting a Justice League movie. I think that's what this is all leading up to. So yeah, maybe this will be 2027, but honestly, I think you could swap Paradise Lost with Lanterns, whatever you want to do. But that was kind of my thinking. Then you have The Authority in June. The reason why I went with The Authority as the next movie in this lineup is because we know that we're going to get appearances from the Engineer in Superman, who is a part of the Authority. So I'm thinking that's going to lead into too far. I think it's going to lead into a the Authority being the next movie that's fast tracked. I think there's kind of a storyline that's going on here that we have no idea about yet, but we'll start piecing it together once we actually get these movies and shows released. And then I think you do Swamp Thing. I can't see this having a big part of the overarching story of the DCU. That's kind of why I threw it here in 2027 with an October release, just kind of to, do the Halloween timing. But maybe it could, because, the name of this chapter is Gods and Monsters, so who knows. But yeah, I think we're going to get that in October. We already have a director and writer for that one, so 2027 is my prediction there. Now 2028, this is a big year. I don't think that we're going to get The Brave and the Bold in 2027. I don't think we'll get back-to-back Batman movies, although I am warming up to the idea of it. I did have a viewer comment his thoughts on it, saying that it might be smart to have it back-to-back to kind of rip the Band-Aid off, to paraphrase what he was saying. But I'm still going to go with the 2 years apart kind of deal here. So I'm going to say The Brave and the Bold releases in 2028. I'm going to give it the October release, kind of similar to Matt Reeves' Batman. Getting to March, though, I think we're going to get a new show in 2028, and I think it's going to be Arkham. This is a Matt Reeves-produced Arkham Asylum show, but it has been reworked to fit inside of the DCU. I don't know if we'll ever get this, but my thinking was it would be kind of cool if we had the Arkham show kind of start in the beginning of the year, kind of tease us for Batman. Maybe it could end with like a credit scene of a snippet of seeing Batman in the suit getting us hyped up for the movie. Kind of lay down the groundwork for Batman in this universe. I thought it could be cool rather than getting the show after the Batman movie. Another option you could do here is you could have it kind of air simultaneously as Brave and Bold is kind of released into theaters. I think that could work really well. I think that could be pretty cool. And then I think in June, I think you get the Superman sequel. And I know we don't have any news on it. It's a little early, but I have a feeling Superman's going to be a pretty big success. I think they're going to fast track a sequel. And I think 3 years is enough time. And I think it would be really cool if 2028 released a Superman movie and a Batman movie. I think that would be pretty awesome for us DC fans. Now, I put Paradise Lost Season 2 in late July. Like I said, you have one new show, one show kind of continuing its releases with the Season 2. And I think I have it on an every other year schedule. So, for example, Season 1 was 2026, then Season 2 is 2028, and then Season 3 would be 2030, just so we can mix in a bunch of other shows here. I threw in Creature Commandos because I feel like that's going to get a Season 2 as well. And I don't know if they'll include animated shows into this release, because Marvel doesn't include their animated shows, at least it seems like, into their mandates of only having 2 shows a year. So I think maybe we could get Creature Commandos as well, Season 2 on that, who knows. But that's my predictions for 2028. Now, 2029. I put Booster Gold. Now, I said it could be a miniseries, it could be an actual TV show. Who knows, but I put Booster Gold in there. But it could honestly, you could either have a Booster Gold Season 2, or it could honestly be flip-flopped with any other show that's not kind of released, we don't have any information on. Maybe we'll get a new production, a new show. So that's kind of like a placeholder spot. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got like a Booster Gold Season 2, but it could also be a brand new show that fits that slot. The one that I've had the most trouble with, though, is Teen Titans, I think. So we got confirmation that we will have a Teen Titans movie, but we don't have confirmation on a Justice League movie. So, is the Justice League already formed? Will the Justice League form after Teen Titans? Will the Teen Titans movie be released after the Justice League movie? I'm not really sure. Maybe the Justice League will be formed in between this. Who knows? It's kind of tricky to pinpoint where to put these movies at this point. I mean, now we're in 2029. We're like 5 years ahead. This is just obviously just throwing things against the wall. I have no idea if anything will be right. It would be crazy. Maybe I'll do a reaction video when some of this stuff kind of drops to see how far off I was. But I think we get the Teen Titans movie in June. I think it's going to kind of be like their blockbuster of the year. My placement for it coming in 2029 is solely because it happens after The Brave and the Bold. I think either Tim Drake or Damian Wayne will lead this team, so I think it's kind of like a nice segue to start off, or kind of nice little segue from going from Batman to the Teen Titans. Then, late July, I could see doing Lantern Season 2. So, like I said, you had Lantern Season 1 in 2027, operate on an every other year schedule. Lantern Season 2 in late July. And like James Gunn said, the Lantern show is a part of the overarching story of the DCU. So I think the Justice League movie will come out the next year, which we'll get into in a second. But I think the Lantern show could kind of really smoothly lead into that. Now, Elseworlds movie. It's been confirmed that Constantine 2 with Keanu Reeves has been in pre-production, or it's a movie that's happening. I don't know if this is gonna get canceled or not. Who knows? We'll see. But I threw it in here because I didn't know where else to put it. I don't think we're gonna get this in like the 2030s, which is really weird to say, the 2030s. But yeah, I think Constantine 2 could be another Halloween type movie. Elseworlds Tale, make it rated R, and those would be the two movies that you release in 2029. Now 2030, I think this is interesting because we don't have any news of other shows or anything coming out, or any other movies coming out really. So I think it would be interesting. And like I said, I didn't say this, but like James Gunn said, he hasn't announced every single project that's going to come out in Chapter 1. So that's why I have a bunch of blank spots, and why I had Booster Gold and kind of like a placeholder thing, or maybe it is Season 2, who knows. But I think it would be interesting if in like 2030, the year or whatever year we got the Justice League movie, that it was the only project of the DCU released. To really make it feel like an event, make it feel important, like the stakes are really high. We have no idea who's going to survive, none of that. So I think Justice League would be interesting if it came out in 2030 and it was the sole release of the DCU. All right, 2031. Now, hear me out. So you heard my theory about 2030, or something or my idea, I guess you could say, of what I thought would be cool. You have a sole release Justice League movie. Then what if in 2031, both your movies that you release are Elseworlds movies? So Batman, Matt Reeves was signed on for a trilogy. So what if he completes it, the Batman Part 3 in 2031, which would be a whole 5 years after the sequel would release. And then when did the first movie come out? 2022? So was that 4 years? Was it 2023? 3 years. I don't even remember. But you have an Elseworlds Tale. I forgot to put the Elseworlds label on there for you guys. But Batman Part 3 releasing in October of 2031, being the finale of that universe. And what if you had Ta-Nehisi Coates' Superman movie, which is another Elseworlds Tale that's also still apparently in pre-production and will be a thing that's not getting canceled and will hit theaters eventually. I don't know, though. To be honest with you, I don't know if Constantine 2 will make it or if the Superman movie will make it, but it would be really cool if they did. I like the idea of having an Elseworlds label for DC Studios, but what if you had those two movies be the only DC movies that you have released in 2031 to really feel the effects of Justice League in the DCU? Like, you had to take a whole year-long break from that universe. Besides Paradise Lost, I think they're going to want to have original content on their streaming service, so it could be maybe another Elseworlds type of thing on there, but I think they'll probably, well, according to my predictions, I think they'll have Paradise Lost maybe Season 3 debut then. So, like, again, it follows that kind of, oh, it didn't. So we're going a whole 3 years until we get the third season of Paradise Lost, but that is kind of my idea. And then you kick off Chapter 2, 2032 with a Flash movie and a Green Arrow movie. I think that could be cool. You could do a Wonder Woman movie in there as well, Martian Manhunter, bunch of different options there. And then 2033, you go back to kind of the two more popular franchises, which would be the third Superman movie in the DCU and then the Brave and the Bold sequel. These are my predictions. Sorry for my voice again. Sorry if I didn't explain everything well enough. I'm still under the weather, and I had to pause for some coughing fits a few times through the recording in this video. But this is kind of my idea, my prediction, and I don't feel confident on it at all. I feel less confident on this slate than I did with the Marvel one, because we really don't know how the DCU is going to work, to be honest with you. Not until we really start getting into some more announcements and when these shows actually release, we'll know the storylines better and everything that's going on. But these are my predictions. Let me run through it one more time just so you guys can see. So we got 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030, 2031, 2032, 2033. I didn't expect to go this far. I was originally only going to do 2029 like I did for the MCU, but I had a little bit more of a idea for the future of the DCU for this video, but those are my predictions, my thoughts. I don't feel confident on this at all. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button. Join the nerd family. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great day.